Hello everyone. Today, we are going to explore a fundamental concept in artificial intelligence, knowledge representation, often abbreviated as KR. This topic is crucial because intelligence in machines is not just about data, it's about how that data is structured, interpreted, and used to make decisions. By the end of this lecture, you will understand what knowledge representation is, why it is important, different types of knowledge, various representation techniques used in AI systems. Let's begin. Now let's begin by understanding what knowledge representation actually means. In artificial intelligence, knowledge representation, often called KR, is a way of organizing and structuring information so that a machine can use it to think, reason, and make decisions. Think of it like this: data by itself is just raw information. But when we structure that data in a meaningful way, it becomes knowledge. And when a machine can use that knowledge intelligently, that's where AI truly begins. So, knowledge representation acts as a bridge between raw data and intelligent behavior. It allows machines not just to store information, but to understand it and use it effectively. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine a rule like, if a person has a fever and a cough, then the disease could be flu. This is a very basic representation of knowledge. But what makes it powerful is that a machine can use this rule to make a decision, just like a human would. So instead of memorizing data, the system is actually applying knowledge to solve a problem. And that's the key idea here. Knowledge representation is not just about storing facts, but about enabling reasoning. It helps AI systems interpret information, draw conclusions, and behave intelligently in different situations. As we move forward, you'll see how different types of knowledge and representation techniques make this possible. Now that we understand what knowledge representation is, the next important question is, why is it so important in artificial intelligence? The answer is simple: without proper representation of knowledge, an AI system cannot truly be intelligent. It may store data, but it won't be able to use that data effectively. One of the biggest advantages of knowledge representation is that it enables logical reasoning and inference. What does that mean? It means the system can take known facts and derive new conclusions from them. For example, if the system knows that all humans are mortal, and it also knows that Socrates is a human, it can logically conclude that Socrates is mortal. This ability to connect facts and generate new knowledge is what makes AI systems intelligent rather than just data storage tools. Another important role of knowledge representation is in decision making and problem solving. In real-world scenarios, AI systems are constantly required to make decisions, sometimes simple, sometimes very complex. For instance, in a medical diagnosis system, the AI needs to analyze symptoms, compare them with known diseases, and decide the most likely diagnosis. This is only possible when knowledge is structured properly so that the system can evaluate different possibilities and choose the best one. Similarly, in applications like navigation systems, recommendation systems, or even financial forecasting, AI relies heavily on well-organized knowledge to solve problems efficiently. So, in summary, knowledge representation transforms AI from a passive system that stores data into an active system that can think logically, make informed decisions, solve complex problems, and that is why it forms the very foundation of intelligent systems. As we move ahead, we'll see what kind of knowledge is actually represented inside these systems. Now that we understand why knowledge representation is important, the next logical question is, what makes a knowledge representation system good? Not all ways of representing knowledge are equally effective. For an AI system to perform efficiently, the representation it uses must satisfy certain important characteristics. There are 4 key characteristics of a good knowledge representation system. Let's go through them one by one. The first is representational adequacy. This simply means that the representation should be capable of expressing all the necessary knowledge about a domain. In other words, whatever information is required for the system to function should be representable within that framework. For example, if we are designing a medical diagnosis system, the representation should be able to include symptoms, diseases, relationships between them, and possibly even uncertainty. If the system cannot represent certain important information, then it becomes incomplete, and that limits the intelligence of the system. So, representational adequacy is about coverage and completeness. The second characteristic is inferential adequacy. This refers to the system's ability to derive new knowledge from the existing knowledge. It's not enough to just store facts, the system should also be able to reason with those facts. For instance, if the system knows all mammals are warm-blooded and a dog is a mammal, then it should be able to infer that a dog is warm-blooded. This ability to generate new conclusions from known facts is what gives AI its reasoning capability. So, inferential adequacy is about logical reasoning and knowledge expansion. The third characteristic is inferential efficiency. Now, even if a system can derive conclusions, the question is, how fast can it do it? Inferential efficiency focuses on the speed and computational cost of reasoning. In real-world applications, time is critical. For example, a self-driving car cannot take several seconds to decide whether to stop at a red light. It must make decisions instantly. So, the knowledge representation should be organized in such a way that reasoning can happen quickly and efficiently. This often involves optimizing how knowledge is stored and accessed. So, inferential efficiency is about making reasoning practical and fast. The fourth and final characteristic is acquisitional efficiency. This refers to how easy it is to add new knowledge to the system. In real-world scenarios, knowledge is not static, it keeps evolving. New data, new rules, and new situations keep emerging. So, a good knowledge representation system should allow easy updates, easy modifications, easy expansion. For example, if a new disease is discovered, a medical AI system should be able to incorporate that information without redesigning the entire system. If updating knowledge is difficult, the system becomes rigid and outdated. So, acquisitional efficiency is about flexibility and ease of maintenance. Now, if we look at all four characteristics together, we can summarize them like this. A good knowledge representation system should be complete enough to represent all necessary knowledge, logical enough to derive new information, efficient enough to reason quickly, flexible enough to update easily. When all these properties are satisfied, the AI system becomes more powerful, scalable, and practical. These characteristics act as guidelines when designing intelligent systems. As we move forward, we'll now explore the different types of knowledge that these systems actually represent. Now that we've discussed the characteristics of a good knowledge representation system, the next step is to understand what kind of knowledge we actually represent in AI systems. Because not all knowledge is the same. In fact, knowledge can be classified into different types based on how it is used and what it represents. There are 5 main types of knowledge that are commonly used in artificial intelligence. The first is declarative knowledge, which is also known as know what. This includes facts and information about the world, things that are simply true. The second is procedural knowledge, or know-how. This tells us how to perform tasks, step by step. The third type is meta-knowledge. This is knowledge about knowledge itself, it helps the system decide when and how to use certain information. Next, we have heuristic knowledge, which is based on experience. These are rules of thumb that help in solving problems quickly, even if they don't always guarantee the perfect solution. And finally, we have structural knowledge, which focuses on relationships between concepts. It helps the system understand how different pieces of knowledge are connected. Now, why is this classification important? Because different AI systems require different types of knowledge. For example, a database system mostly uses declarative knowledge. A robot relies heavily on procedural knowledge. A decision-making system may use heuristics. And advanced AI systems combine all of these together. So understanding these types helps us design better and more intelligent systems. In the next few slides, we'll explore each of these types in detail, with examples to make them even clearer. Let's now begin with the first type of knowledge, declarative knowledge, also known as know what. Declarative knowledge refers to facts and information about the world, things that are simply true and can be stated clearly. These are pieces of knowledge that answer questions like, what is something, or what is true? For example, the sky is blue. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Mumbai is a city in India. All of these are factual statements. They don't involve any process or action, they just describe reality. One of the key features of declarative knowledge is that it is easy to store and retrieve. Because it is usually represented in the form of statements or facts, it can be organized in databases, knowledge bases, or logical expressions. This makes it very useful for systems that need to answer queries. For instance, if you ask a system, what is the capital of France? It simply retrieves the stored fact, Paris. Another important aspect is that declarative knowledge is easy to communicate. Humans naturally express knowledge in this form when we describe facts. So it becomes easier to transfer this knowledge from humans to machines. This is why many AI systems, especially early expert systems, relied heavily on declarative knowledge. However, it's important to understand one limitation. Declarative knowledge tells us what is true, but it does not tell us how to do something. For example, knowing that a car has 4 wheels is declarative knowledge. But knowing how to drive a car, that's procedural knowledge, which we'll discuss next. So, in summary, declarative knowledge represents facts and truths, is static in nature, is easy to store, retrieve, and communicate, forms the foundation of knowledge bases. It is one of the most fundamental types of knowledge used in AI systems. In the next slide, we'll move on to procedural knowledge, which focuses on actions and processes rather than just facts. Now let's move on to the second type of knowledge, procedural knowledge, also known as know-how. While declarative knowledge tells us what is true, procedural knowledge tells us how to do something. It focuses on actions, steps, and processes required to achieve a particular goal. For example, consider a simple task like operating a machine. The steps might be, first, turn on the machine, then set the temperature, and finally, start the operation. This sequence of steps is procedural knowledge. It is not just information, it is a method or procedure for performing a task. Procedural knowledge is widely used in systems that need to perform actions. For instance, in robotics, it helps machines move and interact with the environment. In automation systems, it controls sequences of operations. In software, algorithms themselves are a form of procedural knowledge. Whenever a system needs to follow a step-by-step process, it relies on this type of knowledge. One important thing to understand is that procedural knowledge is often harder to represent and explain compared to declarative knowledge. Why? Because it involves sequences, conditions, and sometimes complex logic. For example, explaining how to ride a bicycle is much harder than stating a fact like a bicycle has 2 wheels. This is because procedural knowledge often involves skills and experience. Another key point is that procedural knowledge is action-oriented. It is designed for execution. So while declarative knowledge might sit in a database, procedural knowledge is actively used by the system to perform tasks. To summarize, procedural knowledge represents how to perform tasks, includes steps, algorithms, and procedures, is essential for automation and execution, is more dynamic and action-based than declarative knowledge. Together, declarative and procedural knowledge form the core of most intelligent systems. In the next slide, we'll explore meta-knowledge, which is a slightly more advanced concept, knowledge about knowledge itself. Now let's move to a slightly more advanced concept, meta-knowledge. Meta-knowledge simply means knowledge about knowledge. In other words, it is the knowledge that helps an AI system understand what it knows, how reliable that knowledge is, and when or how to use it. Think of it like this. If declarative knowledge is facts, and procedural knowledge is actions, then meta-knowledge acts like a manager or supervisor that controls how those facts and actions are used. For example, imagine an AI system that has access to multiple data sources. If the system knows that one of its databases was recently updated, it can treat that information as more reliable. This awareness, that this data is more trustworthy than others, is meta-knowledge. Another example could be in decision-making systems. An AI might know that, for critical decisions, always use verified data. This rule about how to use knowledge is itself a form of meta-knowledge. Meta-knowledge plays a very important role in making AI systems more intelligent and adaptive. It helps systems choose the right strategy, avoid using outdated or unreliable information, improve the quality of decisions. Without meta-knowledge, a system might blindly apply rules without understanding whether they are appropriate in a given situation. So, to summarize, meta-knowledge is knowledge about other knowledge, guides reasoning and decision-making, helps evaluate reliability and relevance, acts like a control layer in intelligent systems. As AI systems become more advanced, meta-knowledge becomes increasingly important. In the next slide, we'll look at heuristic knowledge, which focuses on experience-based problem solving. Now let's look at another very practical type of knowledge, heuristic knowledge. Heuristic knowledge is based on experience. It consists of rules of thumb that help in solving problems quickly and efficiently. In real life, we often don't analyze every possible option before making a decision. Instead, we rely on experience to guide us. For example, if you are choosing the fastest route to college, you might not calculate every possible path. Instead, you choose the route that usually has less traffic. That's a heuristic. In AI, heuristic knowledge works in a similar way. It helps systems reduce search time, avoid unnecessary computations, reach good solutions faster. For example, in a chess playing AI, instead of analyzing every possible move, the system may use a heuristic like control the center of the board. This doesn't guarantee the best move every time, but it often leads to strong gameplay. Now, it's important to understand one key point. Heuristics do not guarantee optimal solutions. They are not perfect, but they are practical. They trade absolute accuracy for speed and efficiency. And in many real-world problems, that trade-off is necessary. Heuristic knowledge is especially useful in complex problem solving, search algorithms, optimization problems, where exploring every possibility would be too slow or computationally expensive. So, to summarize, heuristic knowledge is based on experience and intuition. Uses rules of thumb, speeds up problem solving, provides good, but not always optimal, solutions. It makes AI systems more efficient and practical in real-world scenarios. In the next slide, we'll explore structural knowledge, which focuses on relationships between concepts. Now let's move to the final type of knowledge, structural knowledge. Structural knowledge focuses on understanding the relationships between concepts. Instead of just storing isolated facts, it organizes knowledge in a way that shows how different pieces of information are connected. Think of it like a hierarchy or a network. For example, a poodle is a type of dog. A dog is a type of mammal. And a mammal is a type of animal. This creates a structured relationship between concepts. Now, why is this important? Because it allows AI systems to perform something called inheritance. If we know that all mammals are warm-blooded, and a dog is a mammal, then the system can automatically infer that a dog is warm-blooded. It doesn't need to store that fact separately for every animal. This makes knowledge representation more efficient and scalable. Structural knowledge is widely used in semantic networks, ontologies, knowledge graphs. These systems rely on relationships like is a, type of, has a, contains, part of. Another advantage of structural knowledge is that it helps AI systems better understand context and meaning. Instead of just knowing facts, the system understands how those facts are connected, which leads to more intelligent reasoning. So, to summarize, structural knowledge represents relationships and hierarchies, organizes knowledge in a connected structure, enables inheritance and inference, improves understanding and efficiency. With this, we have now covered all the major types of knowledge. In the next slide, we'll see how all these types come together in a real-world example, a self-driving car. Now that we've explored all the different types of knowledge individually, let's bring everything together with a real-world example, a self-driving car. This example is powerful because it shows how multiple types of knowledge work together to create intelligent behavior. Let's start with declarative knowledge. A self-driving car must know certain facts about the world, such as speed limits, traffic rules, the meaning of traffic signals. For example, it knows that a red light means stop, and a speed limit sign indicates the maximum allowed speed. These are fixed facts that the system relies on at all times. Next is procedural knowledge. This involves the steps the car takes to perform actions. For example, consider parallel parking. The car must adjust its position, turn the steering wheel at the correct angle, reverse carefully, align itself within the parking space. This entire sequence is procedural knowledge. It tells the car how to perform a task. Now let's look at structural knowledge. The car needs to understand relationships between objects in its environment. For instance, pedestrians, cyclists, and vehicles are all categorized as obstacles. Traffic lights are part of road infrastructure. By organizing objects into categories and relationships, the system can make better decisions about navigation and safety. Next is meta knowledge. This helps the car evaluate the reliability of its own data. For example, if the car detects that its cameras are covered with snow or dirt, it knows that visual data may not be reliable. So, it may rely more on other sensors like radar or LiDAR. This awareness about the quality of its own knowledge is meta knowledge. Finally, we have heuristic knowledge. This is where experience-based decision-making comes in. For example, if the car sees a ball rolling onto the road, it may slow down, even if there is no visible pedestrian. Why? Because based on experience, there is a high chance that a child might follow the ball. This is not a guaranteed rule, but it is a smart and practical decision. Now, if we step back and look at this example as a whole, we can see something very important. A self-driving car does not rely on just one type of knowledge, it uses a combination of all types working together. Declarative knowledge provides facts. Procedural knowledge enables actions. Structural knowledge organizes understanding. Meta knowledge guides decision making. Heuristic knowledge improves efficiency and safety. This integration is what makes modern AI systems truly intelligent. And this is exactly why understanding different types of knowledge is so important. In the next section, we'll move on to how this knowledge is actually represented inside AI systems using different techniques. And with that, we will end this lecture. Thank you.